Making music is easy. Building a fan base, getting streams on your songs, not so much. Are you an artist? You find yourself making like dope music, you share it out, you push it out, you make content to it, TikTok stuff. Maybe you even do a short music video, you share to all your contact list, stuff like that. You may even get one or two TikTok videos that blow up, get like some 3K views, get like some 10K views, but you go to your streams and the streams sit at below 1K, they don't really do anything, they don't get anywhere. If you are that artist, this is for you. The problem you are facing is a very simple one. It's simple but not easy to fix. It still requires you to put in the work. So stick with me to the end of the video. This video is going to be split into two parts. It's going to be me ranting and giving you context so you really understand the full picture I'm going for, and then the solution. The solution is going to be me just saying the steps to take. But of course, for you to really understand those steps, you need the whole context. So your choice, pick the blue pill or the red shit. I don't know how that works. But skip to this time at the end of the video. Skip to this time if you want to go straight into the solutions. So yeah, we're going to start off with the sharing to your contacts, sharing to people you know. If you do that, you most likely are like, some people I know people personally who do that. You make content and you share it to people because of course these people know you, so they should support you. You share your link to them, you make it is dope, so no reason why they shouldn't. You share it to your status, share it to Facebook, all the social media you have. You send the link to all your contacts. Now that is a very wrong move, and I'll get to that. And some of you even go as far as getting angry that people don't click it. Like, oh, like he claims he's a friend. Why wouldn't he watch my video? Why won't he support? I would do the same. That's a bad move on your part. That's like you are a villain for thinking that way. You are a villain, you are deluded. You shouldn't think that way. Why? Because let me just build this scenario. Have you had those moments before where, it's not a have you definitely have had moments like that, but maybe you're watching a movie, a series just popped by on Netflix and you just start watching. Maybe it's like 1 hour, 1 hour, 20 minutes per episode, and you just start watching. Or you are playing a video game and you're really hooked, or whatever it is. You may not play video games, you may not watch movies. And all of a sudden you just look out and you see that it's dark. Like, the fuck, it was just afternoon right now, what's going on? You are engulfed in that thing. Your time is at that moment in time, like, time doesn't matter. What matters is this thing you are engulfed in. If between that time you have a friend, let's call this friend Jimmy. Jimmy is, on a scale of 1 to 10, you like him on a 5, so you don't hate him and you're not exactly close with him, you don't really like him like that. Within that time, Jimmy calls you, he needs help moving something. The thing is moving, like, if you have to take all the time, like, if you have to calculate all the time you use to come back to your house, let's say you talk to Jimmy a bit and come back, it's like 10 minutes. At that point in time, you are more likely to make an excuse not to do it. Or maybe you're a straight person, so you just tell him straight up, like, I'm doing something, like, can't you get somebody? Like, really, I don't want to stop this shit. Whatever it is, you are not likely to do it in that time. Does it make you a bad person? No. Does it make you a villain? No. Do you hate Jimmy? No. It's just at that point in time, your time is precious. And this is even a direct example, This is people's time, especially in this day and age where time is just moving by so fast because of technology and everything. Everybody has their own shit. So you cannot expect people to just, because I know you, let me just give you out of my time. So that phrase, time is money. Everybody takes what they want to take from it. It may help them, it may mad them, but at the end of the day, building wealth, right? Not wealth, building wealth. Emphasis on building, because you may win the lottery, you may have a coin that just blows up, you may get an inheritance. I don't mean those scenarios. Building wealth involves putting in time daily into a system, building a system that is going to, in the long run, make money for you, even when you're not doing anything. Any wealthy person, this is what they are doing. This is exactly what they are doing. They don't have to work every day. They could not work for a month and they will still be wealthy. They will still be making money because they have systems working for them in any venture. It's the same thing for music. Why am I saying this? Time is money. It's because you expecting people to give you your time, to give you their time by streaming your song is equivalent to you just expecting people to give you money just because they know you. You're not entitled to that. You're not entitled to their time. You're not entitled to, nobody's entitled to your time. Nobody's entitled to my time. So time is money. You might not believe that, and maybe if you are young, like myself, you are not here making money like that, so might not look like it to you, might not really look like it to you. And you may be thinking, if you're an artist, you may be thinking, what? So my friend can't just take 3 minutes out of their time to listen to my song. It's not really just that. Like, let me emphasize more on the time is money thing here. For example, you would have been in bed by 7, but because there's this your friend Ayo who is around, you decide, oh, let me chill with Ayo a bit. You chill with him till 9. Usually you're someone who would have woken up 5 a.m. to start work, or maybe you work out, you start working by 7. Now you either wake up late or you wake up the same 5, continue as normal, but you have 2 hours of sleep you've missed. Your body remembers. You may not look like you, but your body remembers. So I don't want to get too off topic, but that's like one thing. It's important. It's not relevant to this video, but there's no prize for losing sleep as an artist. Don't be out here. I don't know why, but I've seen that a lot of artists, sometimes upcoming artists, they tend to take pride in sleepless nights. It's like, oh, I haven't slept. I've only slept like 2 hours in the last 3 days. Well, you are not going to get extra accolades for that. You haven't slept. You haven't had decent sleep in the last year. I've been sleeping normally. You have 8K streams. I have 8K streams. Spotify is not going to pay you more than me because you were sleepless. Health is wealth, they say. So if you are trying to build health, you are trying to build wealth, you are losing your health, you are going into debt still. So keep that in mind. Anyway, that's not the purpose of this video. This second example now is going to be more creative, so stick with me. And trust me, this is all going somewhere. Everything I'm saying is all adding up. So stick to the end of this video. Stay with me. Yeah, so I'm scatterbrained, so I'm reading off a book. As you can see, I have to actually structure the shit out of just get lost. There's this overused quote now: limited time you spend with poor people. I don't know if that's exactly how the quote is, but it's something along those lines. And everybody, depending on your mindset, your background, all of that, you would take your own lesson from it. But here's what I understand from that, and here's how that pertains to the whole time is money thing. I think a lot of people usually, they think when they say time is money, don't spend time with broke people, Jesus. I think they think it's because, oh, you spend time with broke people, they're just going to be billing you all the time, asking you for money all the time. You give them today, they ask tomorrow. Not necessarily. I don't think that's the reason. It's not the reason. It's because of the mindset and the time. Wealth, as we've established, and if you know anything about business, you know that's how it works, is putting in hours every day to build something. And of course, wealth is also a mindset. It starts from the mind. If you have a scarcity mindset, you are not likely to build something relevant that is going to build wealth in the long run. So, thing with poor people, and why poor people and people who remain poor for like the rest of your lives, is mostly a mindset thing. Like, I'm sure we all know that person or have known that person at some point. Maybe you're even close to them. That, like, when you're talking about wealth, you're talking about grandeur. Like, these people can be so graphic. They can be so they'll describe something so much. You guys even just listening to them, you are getting the whole high, the whole dopamine from what they're saying. Like a bystander will listen to what they're saying. I think they are narrating that something that they did last month or something they did on a holiday or vacation or something. They are that graphic. They know exactly how they want to spend this money. Shift the conversation to, oh shit, that's dope. How do you want to make this money? And watch their whole demeanor, their whole tone, their whole language change. It changes to, oh, if I was lucky to, I wish somebody would just and their whole tone changes into this fantasy like thing. Or just watch them start speaking in future tense, or speaking in, I have $1 in my account, you have $1 in your account. I'm trying to, how can we make money? And you're speaking about $100. With $100, we could just put this amount into this and put this amount into this AI, and money is just going to come and do. Just watch the way the whole thing. There's just, they are no longer clear. It's they are speaking in fantasy, not in actionable steps at all. So, and that's the mindset of like poor people a lot of the times. It's more, they see money from a place of, I get lucky, I hit this big amount and it changes my life forever. They don't know that true money, true wealth is built daily. You build a system that works for you. It's not about you hitting that big money that just changes your life. That's not how it works. So I think why they say that quote, limited time you spend with poor people, is that as a rich person, if you hang with another rich person, you know, most likely you're going to talk about some things that are going to, even if you don't talk about a business opportunity you could both do, or educate yourselves, you could live and be inspired, from the stuff they've said. You can have new ideas on your own and go and reflect, stuff like that. But if it's like a poor person, there's going to be they are not saying anything actionable. There's no decent conversation being had. So you spend 2 hours with a poor person, that's just 2 hours wasted, because you are living, you are not inspired, there's no potential business opportunity, nothing. I think that's why they say limited time. That's my own take on it. So why did I say that? Why did I give the example of this and the example of the you staying up, you not sleeping? Time is money. Time is money. It's just to emphasize that fact. Time is money. As much as the time is money might sound so wishy-washy, it's true. And if you are a young guy, you probably wouldn't know. But ask anybody who's like older, who is at least building something for themselves. They will tell you time is money. So bringing this back to music, right? Everybody is precious with their time. Time is money. Everybody is precious with their time. People streaming your songs is them giving you money. Obviously, it's not directly, but it's them giving you money. If you think that's not true, well, try getting monetized without streams. There's a reason why Spotify pays per view. Time is money, so don't just expect people giving you that because they know you, because they are cool enough with you, or because you are friends. This next point is very important. So I don't know, maybe write it if you have to. Stick with me, like understand what I'm saying, understand the whole point. People only give their time to what they deem of value to them. What they deem of value, let me say what they perceive as valuable here. Let me use that word instead. What they perceive as valuable to them. Emphasis on perceive and to them. Gold is valuable, we can all agree. If you as a billionaire do not think buying this gold chain is going to get you richer in the future, or it's going to look good on you, or it's going to appreciate, you can sell it, you are not likely to buy it. It's valuable, yes, you have the money for it, yes, it's not going to do anything. But just the fact that you don't see it as valuable, you wouldn't get it. And nobody can hold you for that. Literally everybody at every point in time, that's just life. That's the way it works. That's the way we're designed. I don't know. I'm sure there's a biological explanation for it. I'm not going to get into all that. But it's just the way you were designed. Literally, you're doing it right now. You are still watching this video. Why? Because you feel like there's some form of value to be gained from this. If you did not think you get any value from this video, you would have clicked off. You are not going to tell yourself, oh, but he's a young dude like myself. He's a brother of color, so let me just support. He's a producer like myself. Let me just watch till the end and follow and like to support him. And yeah, if you're liking the video so far, please like and subscribe. It helps. Yeah, so we aren't going to do that. Why? Because the video is either valuable or it is not. And if it is not, you will click off. Nobody can hold you for that. You can't be arrested for that. It's your right. You're not going to talk to that girl who stares at you in class, except he wears you out and you want to stop it. You are not going to talk to that girl if you don't feel like she's attractive. If you don't find her attractive, you don't want to hit. You are not going to talk to her. Or maybe, and of course, at the end of the day, everything just boils down to value of some sort. Or maybe you say, you know what, I don't want to have any form of romantic relationship with her, but let me be talking to her. So other girls can see that, oh, a girl is into me and always wants to talk to me. Maybe they'll be interested now. Those could be reasons. But true of the matter as a dude, if you have no romantic interest, you are not going to try. Right? That's just the way it works. People will scroll Instagram, TikTok like the whole day because that idea of connection, it's not real obviously, but that idea of connection, it seems so important to them. So they will spend their time on that, right? A scammer would drop out of school, isolate from people, spend most of his time indoors on his phone or laptop talking to foreigners trying to get money because they deem this money they will get as something that will change their life. A heroin addict will lose everything, would not talk to friends and families, would stop going to his job, would lose absolutely everything, be killing himself slowly because spend all his time doing just this because he deems it the next hit, he finds it valuable. It's worth it. Everything is worth it. So that's just how we humans operate. What we perceive as valuable, we will spend our time on. Period. So understand that. How does this then boil down to music now? All of this is connected. So stick with me and really understand what I'm saying in every single aspect of this. How do you create value that makes people want to listen to your music? That's by giving an experience. You don't artists have, I don't know how long this has been for, but there's this delusion of, oh, this is a nice beat, I did the vocals, it's dope, it's banging, all right, upload on Spotify, share with everybody, and it will do its magic. No, the fact that your song sounds good is not enough. The fact that your song sounds good is not enough reason for. It's not enough. God damn it. It's not what you think. It's not enough reason for. It's not enough reason for. It's not enough reason for your song to take off. Like music is spiritual, as they say. That's not some wishy-washy statement. It's spiritual in the sense that you that enjoys music, there is a feeling. If it's dope, it sounds dope. We've all had that song. Maybe you were on Spotify, you were on Shuffle, you added some songs, so some song just entered. The song sounded nice and you actually vibed it. You didn't add it to your playlist though, and the song ended. And that was it. You've not heard that song again. Maybe once in a while it pops in your head, some line from it or something, and You like try to remember it, but you can't remember. Why does that happen? It's because that song, it was dope, sounded nice, polished, dope beat, everything. But there was no experience, there was no personal experience for you, right? The personal experience is where that comes in. You have nice beats, you have a good engineer. Where that comes in is the type of lyrics you use, and that would then depend on who is your audience, which is why you need to know your audience. Mind you, all of this, I'm just talking and giving you context. When we get to the part where I'm actually listing the steps, you would know. And it will make sense if you have all this context. We all have the artist we love, the artist we just, if you hop on Spotify, you are most likely going to jam at least one of these artist songs. You come, really, if you enter Spotify, it might not really apply to you, but anybody who listens to music, because you are a musician, you may be more open-minded. So sure, maybe when people send you stuff on like WhatsApp or Telegram or IG, you actually do go check it out. Good for you, that's good. But you can't expect that of regular music listeners who are going to be your fan base. It's like, I personally, I wouldn't listen to Travis Scott if his music, I'll stop listening to Travis Scott if his music starts giving that feeling like you're floating, the outer body experience. I would have stopped listening to Juice WRLD by now. RIP to him. If he didn't give those music, if he didn't make those songs that like give that sad and relatable for a troubled neurodivergent like me, but at the same time still wants to make you be bopping to it. What artist can I think of? Like a Cardi B at her peak. I don't know how her music is doing now, but at her peak at the border Kelo time, our whole brand was like feminist, whatever. Most of our audience would be like feminist and OnlyFans chicks and strippers and stuff like that. They wouldn't really vibe her anymore if all of a sudden she switched from that to singing like she was a housewife or something. So there's that experience that people are tuning into every time. So you need to understand that about music. Let's really go in depth then. Like there's this artist I stumbled on recently, like Nado Week. His whole vibe, like I've not really heard a lot of his songs, I've heard a few. His whole vibe, from what I've gotten from the few songs, is like gangster but low key. It's not really like that type of, he's a more reserved of a person. He's mysterious. He's it's dangerous if it needs to be. He what else? And it shows in the whole aesthetic. You hear the beat sound airy. It sound airy, like spooky. It sounds like that. You look at the videos always are darkish. They are done, they look dark always. Then look at the name Nado Week. I'm very sure, I don't know his real name, but I'm very sure his real name is not Nado Week. That week, why would they have been added there? I haven't seen John Wick, but like I'm very sure that week was added there, so it's attributed to John Wick. Because from what I know about John Wick, he's a dangerous nigga, silent and deadly. So that just adds to the whole vibe. Everything just adds to the whole experience. I've only listened to a few of the songs, but I'm very confident that like a good 99% of his audience will be a combination of introverted, introspective. They think like they find themselves to be smart. They are smart, or they think they are smart. They find themselves to be like the underdog, like dangerous, silent, deadly type of thing. Most of the fan base is going to be something like that. I don't know if Nado Week has a team or is doing it, or is an independent artist, but if he has a team, I'm very sure, even if he has like dope, like much more dope shit, they are going to want to push the shit that is going to cater to the audience, to this audience of people, because he already has that base, he's already given that experience. I fall into some of these categories, so it's like I fuck with him. That's why I fuck with him instantly. I just discovered him this week. I really fuck with him. I've been jamming him. So all this is to say, when you're making music, you don't make music with the aim of making something nice. I think a lot of artists just do that and then they wonder why the fuck they don't get views, why they don't get, especially in this day and age where potentially anybody could make music. Anybody with an iPhone, an internet connection could make music, could make and upload music. And the threshold is so low now that like back in the days like 2000 and maybe 10 maybe to have a finished music out that you can monetize, you need to spend so much money, so much money. But in today's day and age, once you have an iPhone and internet, all the extra money you need to be spending really, like to have music you can monetize, let's not talk about promotion and stuff, that you can monetize if it gets the views. You don't need up to $100. You have an iPhone, you do not need up to $100 again. That's how easy it is now compared to back then, that you would have to actually have like a studio and professional this and that and that and that. It's so easy now. And that whole mindset of making, because a lot of times artists would make these handcuffs for themselves and they would imprison themselves for like years, be waiting for, oh, till I have the perfect vocal chain, or I have a dope microphone, or I have this, or I have that. Like, leave all of that. It's like, if you are thinking, oh, what you need to get the views is a nice setup, you have put yourself in a mental prison already. That's a lie, because have you like even leave all that? Now that content is so easy, do you know the amount of content being made every second? Like every second, not every minute, not every hour, every damn second. Any content you want to think of, go on like YouTube or Google, search it and arrange it according to how recent it was uploaded. So you're going to see from what was just posted, down to, if you had to scroll to the end, down to, whenever the internet started. Go do that and see how many videos in anything you search, how many videos are being uploaded per hour. Scratch per hour, by every 10 minutes. So everything is so saturated, content is so easy to create, there's AI, so if you are thinking you need the nice shit before you can post, that's a prison you've put yourself in, and you're fucking up yourself big time in this day and age. Like, have you seen some of these TikTok edits? Like, some people would make like some transitions or some mashups, or maybe even just a remix that is so dope. It even sounds, the actual song is good, but you hear this and the actual song sounds like shit beside it. But there's a reason why you don't really put this is not, these are not the type of stuff you have in your playlist. You have those artists you tune into regularly for that experience. You could really get all these things you're waiting for, maybe the vocal presets and the this and the that and the best setup and everything, and you still don't get a hit song, you still don't blow up like that. And it could be, if you do blow up, you have a song that, if you blow up, most likely it's not going to be your whole album or whatever. If you do have a song that blows up, then it's a double-edged sword, because now it's like you have to, you now have like a what's the word, if people, there was a particular thing people liked in that song, for you to capitalize off that audience, you need to give them something similar to that, not similar in terms of sound, in terms of feel. And if you had no backbone, you were just singing, nice beat, let me just say something, because this is mainstream rap, let me say it could fuck you up potentially. Why? Because everything is sales, everything is marketing, everything is branding. As I said, is about giving the experience. When a lot of times, when you're not genuine in music, it starts to show. Like, ask Roddy Ricch. Look at Roddy Ricch, for example. The Box, biggest song of the time, just blew up. Like, where is he now? I don't know the story. I don't even really listen to Roddy Ricch, but it was so hard to ignore. You can't not know Roddy Ricch back in, was it 2021 or whatever. But a fall off that insane, it's obvious there was no strategy to it. So the experience is what matters. Now, how do you create experience? You need to brand, such that when your audience, you want to build a fan base. Sure, you want to make hit songs, but if you drop an album, check most albums, like a majority of the songs will cater to the actual audience, and then there will be like one or two songs that was made to go mainstream, and that's the song the label will really try to market, put money into, do all the things. If you're one of those artists that have, you don't put out anything, you have a lot of songs you've written, maybe you even have some you've made, but you just feel like it's not mixed professional enough, it's not sounding as neat as Gunna Zone or whatever the fuck. Like, stop that, actually put it out. It's people who want to hear your shit. Combine good sound with like strategy, marketing, target audience, and you're on the right track. Can't promise you a hit song right away, but like you will definitely grow a fan base. If you put in the right places, you would grow a fan base. And also you have a backbone such that if a song does well, you have a strategy you are following. So when it does well, you can say, oh, okay, this is what I did that made this work. The alternative to that would be just making songs into the wind, and one blows up. When it blows up, you don't even know why it blew up. It just blew up, and then you may try to replicate that. I try to replicate that and it fucks you over. It become a joke. So like let's look at XXX for example. Like rest in peace to him too. Goddamn. Like X was when he started, he was using a cheap ass mic, like them plastic gaming mics. So one of his friends said in some interview, like, but he was making the music, and people think X got lucky. X did not get lucky. I think some people tend to think X got lucky. He did not get lucky. There was good marketing behind that shit. X was a hood nigga. Like, he didn't technically live in the hood, but he lived close to, and he was spending most of his time around hood niggas. So X was the hood. And look at the type of music he was making that was mainstream. He could have easily done I don't know, like other rappers, guns, and I fuck this and I fuck that, and I got a chain and blah 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 blah. X was his own person. Was that what blew him up? No, not necessarily. But like, just to say why I brought him up, the fact that I didn't have all the equipment, all the fancy shit. The producer I was working with was an upcoming producer. I'm not going to get into his whole strategy because that's not the purpose of this video. In all I've said so far, if you've taken away anything, it should be that, for one, just because you make a song that sounds nice does not mean you are entitled to people's time. Stop that shit of, because some people literally do this and I'm so puzzled. Stop that shit of sending music out to people and getting angry that they don't stream it. Like, you might stream people's music that they send to you, but in other aspects of your life, trust me, you are very precious with your time. You don't just give it out anyhow. Then also you should know that when you are making music, especially when you're just starting out, you should be more focused on using your whole, what you have, most especially lyrics, because lyrics is what you can freestyle with as much as possible. You should be more focused on creating an experience for the premeditated fan base, not with making the most decent sounding shit. Because to be honest, really, especially in this day and age, because as times change, you need to change with the times. Maybe back in like 2016, the quality of the music was like very important. But nowadays, that is so much fake shit with the AI, and everybody is releasing, everybody can easily do music now. And there's a lot of fake and industry plant and this and that. People are more looking, they don't know it consciously, but they are more looking for people they resonate with, people who share their values, people that like them. Like, why are streamers blowing up all of a sudden? Streamers have always existed, but all of a sudden they're like the shit right now. Why is that? It's because streamers, they turn on their camera and it's on. You basically see their life, but I mean, not really. They could still script it, but there's a limit to how much you stream for 12 hours straight. There's a limit to how much you can fake some of your actual real shit is still going to shine through. Obviously, people are not thinking about it that deeply. But like the reason why streamers are taking off like that is because people, there's everybody is you can be in a room full with people and everybody's looking at their phone, everybody's so disconnected. So people are looking for that sort of connection, right? People are looking for that connection. So you should be making music that is talking to your audience, that is speaking to the premeditated fan base, as I said. That's what you should be more focused on, creating an experience for them rather than making something that sounds nice and trying to make it blow up. So yeah, that takes us to what you should do. I've given you all this context so that these things, which are actually the bullet points, make sense. Now, what should you do to build your audience, build your fan base from scratch? One, you should know yourself. Like, what does that mean, know yourself? Like, what is this, a therapy session? No. Know yourself, like, truly, what are your values? What do you like? What do you hate? Or what are your goals? Then note, like, make that very clear. What is your goal in music? You need to be very clear on that. Is it money? Is it just money? Is it connection? Is it the fame? Is it you need to know that first and foremost, so you don't confuse. If your goal is money, the way you approach it, the way you should approach it, should be different from if you want this as a long time career, like do it into your old age type shit. The way you approach it will be very, very different. So first of all, know that. Know if yeah, very important to know if what you want to be making as the music is your reality. That means like in a case like a Tyler the Creator, you put your life, actually you put your life out there as art, and it resonates with people. Or you want to play a character, which is not wrong, but have that clear from the start, have that defined. When you have that defined, you know your goals, you know what you are doing, the whole strategy can be easier to execute. So the next thing, what's the second thing you should do? Know your audience. You know your audience. Creating that experience for them is going to be much easier. Just writing lyrics on a beat, mixing it and sending it out. And what I'm saying in the beat, maybe I do trap, you know. Most likely, if I had no audience in mind and I wasn't exactly saying, there's some people that wouldn't even really need this because they are so passionate. So if they hear a beat and they sing, they are singing from the heart. So what they are saying is, they don't even really have to think about it like that. It's going to resonate. It has the people it's going to resonate with. But then they'll still need marketing to get it to those people actually. But if you're not that person, you want to actually, when you write, you want to actually have a, why am I writing this for? Because like, okay, I was saying trap, for example. Like if you make trap and you don't think like that, most likely you're just going to fall into that trap of lifestyle. And I'm not lie to you, lifestyle and trap is dead. Is dead. For you to even get some traction, most likely you have to like feature somebody who is really big and relevant in that trap scene. Like, it's so dead. I mean, come on, this 2025, you think doing lane and fucking girls and you got a chain and da 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 da. We don't want to hear that. It's gone. Fuck. So you don't want to blow up as an upcoming artist and that's your whole discography. It's boring, it's overused, it lacks substance. So you know your audience. When you know your audience, okay. Like, okay, let me give an example, right? Boiling back to the sending stuff on WhatsApp. I like anime very much, right? I make a song talking about anime or giving a lot of references to anime, Naruto, Dragon Ball, Jujutsu Kaisen, whatever. I make a song that is like that, and I share to all my contact list, my maybe 1,500 contact list. Maybe 1,300 people receive it. Maybe 1,000 people reach the message. I'm sorry. And maybe from the whole contact list, only 5 people actually click it. Why should I get angry that you didn't click it? I made a song about anime. How many of the people actually even watch anime? How many of them like it that much? How many of them like it and are willing to hear music about somebody talking about it? Put that into mind. You are going to be delusional to think just because you made it and it sounds nice and you like it and maybe you were singing it in the studio and other people were bopping their heads, so therefore you put it out, it's going to go well. That's not how it works. Bonus tip, this is not step 3, but like sometimes if you reach a part where you want to take a step in like music, ask yourself why sometimes. And when you ask yourself why, there's this 7 levels deep. I can't remember who it was from. I think it was Dean Graziosi or something. I'll put the name on the screen. 7 levels deep. Like if you want to do anything, you ask. Like why I wanted to go back to the WhatsApp thing. Okay, you make the song, it's dope, you've uploaded it. You're about to send it to your whole contact. Ask yourself why. Why do you want to send it to them? And then go 7 levels deep. The way it works is, why do you want to send it to them? Okay, so that they'll click it and I'll get views. That's one. Ask why again. Why do you want to get views? Just ask like that. Okay, sorry, this question I didn't I didn't ask it properly. Why do you want to send it to your contacts? So that they will get you views, because you have to be like really specific for it to work, so that they will get you views. Why do you want them to get you views? Or why do you think them will get you views? Because they know me, they like me, so they will support me. Doesn't work like that. 7 levels deep, so you just follow down. I'm not going to do the whole thing, but if you actually do it and you're honest with yourself, most likely your answer is going to fall between one of these two. Is either one is validation. It's validation you're chasing. Or 2, you are too lazy to actually do the marketing work, so you want people to do it for you. Because best case scenario, what happens? Okay, you send to 1,500 people. Or, well, okay, let's be honest. I mean, this is not even a likely scenario at all. But, let's say you send to 1,500 people, and inside that, like 1,300 people click it, 1,000 people actually share. They share on their status and stuff, and that gets you more and more and more. You've avoided work. Well, okay, it has worked out. Your song has gotten more views. When you do the next one, what's going to happen? You are going to do that again and expect them to do that again. Okay, what happens when they're in your DM asking you for money because you now have streams and shit? All of a sudden, they're now entitled to your money, right? You were entitled to their time. Now they're just entitled to your money. That's it. So if you do that, it's going to boil down to one of those two things. Actually try it. If you are one that finds yourself doing that, it's disgusting. Where you make music and you want to share to your whole contacts, and especially if you get mad at them for not viewing your shit, do the 7 levels deep thing. If you want to make any like big changes like that, you are questioning, you want to post this song, do I post it or do I not post it? Go 7 levels deep. You always find the right answer anyway. So again, that was just a bonus. So now number 3, don't be hyper specific in every song. At the end of the day, songs are like you want to you want to maximize streams, obviously, but at the end of the day still satisfy the fan base. Your experience is not another person's experience. Your exact experience is not another person's experience. Sure, they might relate, but it's just the more you leave your lyrics open, the more people are likely to, the wider of a net you can cast. I don't know if you understand me. Let me use Juice WRLD as an example, right? Like if you listen to Juice WRLD songs, a lot of his lyrics are very simple. Very, very simple. He does not use a lot of complicated words, and he does not really go hyper specific. He talks about anxiety and shit, but he doesn't go really hyper specific. He doesn't use complicated words and stuff like that. Why? It's to maximize the audience is going to attract. If he starts using some specific words, people would get lost. People would, sure, maybe a lot of people would understand, but like there's going to be a bunch of people that won't, or a bunch of people that will be like, this is making me think. I don't want it. You know, if you like Juice WRLD as much as I did, I went and watched like his freestyles and stuff, you will know that if it's about talent, if it's about words, this guy has it. He'll use some words, and I'm like, even though I know English a lot, but I have to like go and check what's the meaning of this. What does this mean? He's that good. So don't be hyper specific. Leave it a little bit open. The goal is not to show these people that, oh, you're talented in the music, you can rap. The goal is to give that experience. However way you can give it. Give that experience, and maximize the streams you are going to get. So if you want streams, you want people streaming your shit over and over again, you want to leave it somewhat open ended. you know so the next stuff here is a mission, and this is where X comes back in. I was going to say it before, like, you always want to give some sort of you don't want people to start streaming you, and it's like the exact same shit you were saying this year is the exact same thing you're saying next year and 5 years to come. There has to be some form of, even though you're not directly saying it, there has to be some form of, they feel like they're following you on a journey, something like that. You don't want, how do I put it? You don't want to make music and the listener just feel stagnant, like they're just listening to someone who's saying the same thing over and over again. You want to, okay, like XXX Tentacion. A lot of people thinking he just blew up. They're playing. Like, if you even listen to Ski Mask, it was like his best buddy at the time talking about him. He says Ja was always the businessman. He was the business savvy. He was the one thinking about all this deep stuff like algorithm and stuff. He very much knew what he was doing. Like, he had no followers on IG. Was he IG or whatever social? Yeah, I think it was IG. He had no social following, and he had what, 140 million or so. And some artists have told me that, and I've said, yeah, they want that. It's like, nah, that just added to the brand. A lot of people who know X don't know this, but like, I've watched the whole X. I didn't know him at the time he was alive, but I started hearing his music. I got obsessed and shit like that. I studied. Around the time when he was just starting, he had this thing called members only. It was like the whole idea. I don't know if it was an actual club he formed or something, but the whole idea was the only people in that group, like a cult. Yeah, he used to call it a cult. The only people in that group were people who he fucks with with your life type shit, like can trust you, can be myself around you. Like, well, not only him, but individuals between that group, like, we all trust ourselves. We're like brothers in here, like blood brothers type of shit. That was the whole thing. So him not following anybody was just adding to that brand of it's not just anybody. Everybody is all like, the people in my circle really are people I fuck with, I trust. And people you fuck with and trust like that are people you know. The fact that you like Jay-Z, you don't know Jay-Z, you don't know how he is. So that just added to the whole brand. So, and at that point, his mission at the point was he was building members only. I don't really know about, especially since I didn't actually follow him since he was alive, when he was alive, but this is why I know. That mission is like important. You have that mission. You see artists, their lyrics change over time. Like with Ye, I don't listen to Ye, so I don't know, but from people hating him all of a sudden, he has changed. I think people are saying he's like bossy, racist now, or whatever the fuck. Like, you see Travis Scott, I'm using big names so that people can relate and people I actually listen to. Like, look at Travis. If you go back to like his days before radio type of things, like even Alfaro days, you hear the lyrics are just a guy having fun, $1,000 all we need, we gonna be big type shit. He gets to rodeo, he's talking about like, damn, after a fucking number one album, or after I feel amazing, but I'm still sipping on the liquor type of shit, and gets to like Astro World, was it Astro World or Utopia, and he says fuck the Grammys. You know, there's a change, there's a, even though it's not exactly said directly, there's a sort of like a mission, there's a journey you are following. You are following a journey. You as the listener, you are following those artists you are really attached to. You always have in your playlist. There's an experience you get when you listen to them, and most likely the artist you are going to keep jamming for years to come. They drop an album, even if you don't listen to it on the first day, within the first week you have heard all the songs, if not almost all of them. There's a sort of journey you are following through them. You don't realize it consciously, but you are an artist, you are an upcoming artist, you have to know this. If you are not, if you don't, I don't know, you don't feel like studying like that, then you have to have a manager. So it's your choice. Get the bag, get a manager who knows all this shit and would do all the work for you. And because really at this point in time, as much as it sounds good to say, oh, sleepless nights and da 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 da, it is now so easy to make music as compared to before. It is so easy. The threshold to enter is so small. So the music, the actual making the music side is the easiest part. Most of the work deals with studying, planning, all of that. So that's the work you need to be doing. So the next thing is I'll say number 5. Next thing I'll say is use surprise in the sense of switch things up sometimes, like just surprise. Okay, especially when you are starting to grow an audience, within a week, you from 10 followers, you've gotten 100. You are saying, you sort of have people fucking with you now. Switch things up a little bit. You're a hard drill rapper, you've been rapping on hard drill beats, all of a sudden give one R&B track and let it be super dope. That takes the audience by surprise, and if it's dope and it still somewhat caters to the audience, you are going to get good reactions out of that, period. Switch things up, like obviously that's not the only example, like different genre. I mean, and examples of where that has been used is like Old Town Road, Travis Scott and fucking, what's his name? That guy, the black gay woke guy, Lil Nas X and Billy, I've forgotten his name. He's a country guy, country and trap. He just blended it and it was super dope, and different age groups too. Because Lil Nas sort of caters more to like Gen Z and the young people, and that guy is more like middle-aged people. So that collab was so unexpected and it was dope. You could also, I can't give all the example of how you could switch things up, but like another collab that was like dope, I mean it wasn't generally switching or anything, was like this Jack Boys 2, Travis Scott and Glorilla. Absolutely nobody was expecting to hear Glorilla. I was so shocked when I heard Glorilla and I'm like, what? And it was dope. That would get Travis more fans, really, because this is like, whoa, that was unexpected and it's fire. That would get Glorilla more fans, obviously. So switch things up, period. It works. And the last thing you want to do is study. Like, music is a business, and I think a lot of times artists tend to treat it like a means to an end. Like, oh, okay, I get that one hit song, now I'm made for life and I can do what I want. If that's your mindset, you would flop. You might get the hit song, but you would flop. The mask will slip. Is without no backbone, without a strong foundation, she's going to get fucked up. So study. If you can't study, get someone who will. So yeah, that's it for this video. I hope you got something. I hope you know this. If you listen to the end, you definitely got something of value. I hope you actually implement it, and hope you see growth in your music career. See you in the next video.